While staying at an Airbnb alone, the owner messaged me and asked, "Who did you let into my house?" I booked a remote cabin in Vermont for a week to finish writing my thesis, and around 10 p.m., I noticed something odd. The motion sensor light outside the back door kept flickering on. I figured it was an animal, maybe a deer or raccoon. I closed the blinds and went back to writing. At midnight, I finally went to bed in the small loft upstairs. I fell asleep quickly, exhausted from the drive. Then at 3 a.m., my phone buzzed with a message from the owner. I assumed it was an automated check-in message. It wasn't. The message said, "Who did you let into my house?" I stared at my screen, confused. I typed back that I hadn't let anyone in. I was alone. She responded immediately. "My security camera shows someone entered through the back door at 11:43 p.m. They haven't left." I felt my blood turn to ice. I was in the loft. The only way down was a ladder that led directly into the main living area. If someone was in the cabin, they were between me and the only exit. I typed back with shaking hands asking if she was sure. She sent me a screenshot. Grainy black and white footage of the back door, slightly ajar, and a dark figure stepping inside. The timestamp read 11:43 p.m. That was 3 hours ago. I had been sleeping for 2 of them. My throat closed up. I looked over the edge of the loft, down into the darkness below. I couldn't see anything, couldn't hear anything, but someone had walked into this cabin while I was working 10 feet away and I never noticed. I texted the owner asking what I should do. She said she was calling 911, but I was 30 minutes from the nearest police station. She told me to stay quiet and stay hidden. I pressed myself against the wall of the loft, trying to control my breathing. That's when I heard it. A floorboard creaking directly below me. Then another. Someone was walking through the living room. Slowly. I covered my mouth with my hand to keep from making any sound. The footsteps stopped at the bottom of the ladder. I could hear breathing. Heavy, deliberate. Then a voice. Male, low. "I know you're up there." I stopped breathing entirely. "I heard you moving around when you got that message. Come down. We should talk." I didn't respond. My phone buzzed again. The owner asking if I was okay. The screen lit up the darkness of the loft. The man laughed. "There you are." I heard him put his foot on the first rung of the ladder. I did the only thing I could think of. I grabbed my laptop, heavy and solid, and waited. When his head appeared over the edge of the loft, I swung as hard as I could. The laptop connected with his face, and he fell backward off the ladder, crashing onto the floor below. I heard him groaning, cursing. I didn't wait. I climbed down the ladder on the opposite side, jumped the last few feet, and ran for the front door. I could hear him getting up behind me, stumbling, yelling. I burst outside into the freezing night wearing nothing but a t-shirt and sweatpants, no shoes, no keys, no phone. I just ran. The driveway was gravel, and it tore up my feet, but I didn't stop. I ran until I hit the main road, then kept running until I saw headlights. A pickup truck. I stood in the middle of the road waving my arms like a crazy person. The driver stopped. An older woman, maybe 60. She took one look at me, barefoot, shaking, crying, and told me to get in. And she drove me to the police station. I told them everything. They went to the cabin and found the man still there, sitting on the porch like he was waiting for them. He didn't run, didn't resist, just smiled when they put him in handcuffs. The detective told me later what they found. He'd been living in the crawl space under the cabin for 2 weeks. The owner had no idea. He'd been watching guests come and go through gaps in the floorboards. He had photos on his phone of the 3 people who'd stayed there before me. All women. All traveling alone. He'd picked me to be the first one he approached. They found zip ties in his pocket and duct tape in the crawl space. The detective said I was lucky the owner had security cameras. Lucky she checked them that night. Lucky she messaged me when she did. 10 more minutes and he would have been up that ladder before I ever knew he was there.